In this video, I'm going to be solving 10 questions on IXL 8th grade math. I.10, write and solve equations for proportional relationships. Okay, so first of all, let's remember the equation for proportional relationships. The proportional relationships will be in the form of y equals kx. So k is the constant of proportionality here. And we are going to look at the questions. We are going to try to find the what x represents, what y represents. After that, we will find the constant of proportionality. So it's clearly, you can see clearly that k is equal to y divided by x, y divided by x. Okay. So I'm not going to read the entire question, but I'll just look at the important part of the question, okay? So for example, it says there is a proportional relationship between the number of oranges Braden squeezes. So it is x. So x is the number of oranges, right? Let me underline that. X is the number of oranges. And the y is the amount of juice. The amount of juice, it's y. So now, I'm going to look at this sentence after squeezing one orange. So it's the number of oranges x. So x is going to be 1 because it says after squeezing one orange, Braden has 3 ounces of juice. So one orange and y is going to be 3 ounces of juice. So that's y is going to be 3. Write the equation for the relationship between x and y. So we have to find the k, right? So k is equal to y divided by x. K is equal to y divided by x. So y is 3 and x is 1. 3 divided by 1 is 3. So k is going to be 3. So y is going to be equal to kx. K is 3, so it's going to be 3x. So k is going to be 3x. We'll write 3x here. 3x. That's going to be our answer. Okay, now let's look at this example. I mean, it's the same example, but we are going to have another question. So let me clear this first. The equation that models this relationship is y equals 3x. Okay, once again, x is the number of oranges Braden squeezes, and y is the amount of juice he makes. Okay, how much juice does Braden make by squeezing 4 oranges? So the number of oranges was x, right? So x is going to be 4 in this case. And in order to find the amount of juice Braden makes, we need to find y. Okay, so we know that y equals 3x. Y equals 3x. So instead of x, I'll be writing 4. 3 times 4 and 12. So 12 ounces will be the answer. So I'm going to write 12 here. Okay, this is going to be 12. So let's write 12 there. I'll just put 12 here and then submit. Okay, now let's look at the next example. It's the same example, but the question is different. How many oranges does Braden squeeze to make 15 ounces of juice? So the amount of juice was y. So y is going to be 15 in this case. Y is going to be 15. And we know that the equation is y equals 3x. So I'm going to substitute y. I'm going to substitute 15 into this equation. So y is 15. 15 is equal to 3x. 3x. So that means x is equal to 15 divided by 3. 15 divided by 3, which is 5. So 5 oranges. Braden needs to squeeze 5 oranges. Okay, I'm gonna put 5 there. All right, so let me try it. 5 oranges. Okay, so now let's look at this example. There's a proportional relationship between, let me write X here. X is the number of days Abdul is stranded on the island. So the number of days, I'm gonna write the number of days. And I'll write Y here. What is Y? The total number of trees. The total number of trees he cuts down. Okay. And don't forget Y equals KX. This is proportional relationship. In his first 2 days on the island, the number of days is X. In his first 2 days, so the X is going to be 2. Abdul cuts down a total of 8 trees. So the total number of trees will be Y. So Y is going to be 8. So K is Y divided by X, which is 8 divided by 2, which is 4. That means Y is going to be KX. So K is equal to 4. So 4X. Y is equal to 4X. Y is equal to 4X. And then we have another example about this question. It says, at this rate, because Y equals 4X, once again, X is the number of days and Y is the total number of trees. How many days will it take? So the question is X, right? How many days? It says how many days. To cut down a total of 16 trees. So Y is going to be 16. So in this equation, Y is going to be 16 and X is the question mark for X. So in order to find X, we divide 16 by 4. 16 divided by 4 will give us the answer. 16 divided by 4 is 4. So it's going to take 4 days. 4 days. Okay, so another question about the same one. All right, one more time. X is the number of days and Y is the total number of trees. At this rate, how many total trees? Okay, so that means Y is the question. Abdul cut down in his first 5 days. So X is the number of days, so it's gonna be 5 here. So in order to find Y, we need to multiply 4 by X. X is 5, so 4 times 5, 20. So at this rate, Abdul cut down 20 trees in his first 5 days. So let's write 20 here. 20 trees. Okay, so now we have a new question. First, let's see what X represents. I'm going to write it down here. X is equal to, and X represents the amount of potion the witch drinks. The amount of potion. And Y is the amount of time. The amount of time she is invisible. Okay, so now the witch was invisible for 6 minutes. So it is the time. 6 minutes is the time. So that is why after drinking 1 milliliter of potion, it is the amount of potion. So X is going to be 1. 6 divided by 1 will give us the K because we know that Y equals KX. That means k equals y divided by x. So in this case, it is 6 divided by 1. 6 divided by 1, which is 6. So k is equal to 6. So y equals 6x is the answer here. So y is equal to 6x. And let me clear this. Okay, now we know that. Now we know that the equation is y equals 6x. Once again, x represents the amount of potion and y is the amount of time. Let's look at the question. How much potion will the witch need to drink? How much potion? The amount of potion. It is x, right? X is the question then. X is the question. Will be to be invisible for 12 minutes. And y is the amount of time and 12 minutes is the amount of time. So y is going to be 12. And y is equal to 6x. Instead of y, I'm going to write 12. 12 is equal to 6 times x. 6 times x. That means x is equal to 12 divided by 6. 12 divided by 6. So x is equal to 2. 2 milliliters will be the answer. Let's write 2 here. Okay, so now let's look at this example. Once again, x is the amount of potion and y is the amount of time. So, and y equals 6x is the equation of the proportional relationship. How long will the witch be invisible? How long? It is the amount of time. So y is the question mark because y is the amount of time. That's the question mark. If she drinks 3 milliliters, so that's the amount of potion. That's going to be, x is going to be 3. So y equals 6x. And x is equal to 3. Y is equal to 6 times 3, 18. So 18 minutes will be the answer. 18 minutes. And now let's look at this example. It's a new one. So let's see what x represents. X represents the number of times Rodrigo turns the crank to lift a box. The number of times. I'm going to write the number of times. So what is y? The height the box has been lifted. Okay, I'll write only the height. He turns the crank 25 times. The number of times is x, so 25 times x is going to be 25. To lift a box 12 feet. So the height is going to be 12 feet. So y is height. It is 12. So we know that y equals kx because it's a proportional relationship, because it says there is a proportional relationship. Okay. So k equals y divided by x. So k equals y is 12 divided by x is 25. That's going to be 48 over 100 and 0.48. 48 over 100, because you can multiply both numerator and the denominator by 4 times 4 and times 4. If you're allowed, you can just use your calculator, divide 12 by 25, and then you'll find 25, 48 over, you're going to find 0.48 if you use your calculator. So k is equal to 0.48. That means y equals 0.48 times x. 0.48x will be the answer. So y is going to be equal to 0.48x. And then the same question, but we will see another. Um, okay, so we have done 10 questions, and that's enough for this video.